Good morning, bon dia. Then I found an American from Italy, and I had a late start this morning because it's a short day, and I want to have some breakfast. So let's go. Come on. All right, as I said, so it's a short day today. So we're going to Barcelos, which is about 9 k's from here. So it's a good one. Alright, first breakfast of the morning. So this is the Furada River. Barcelos on the one side of the Furada River, which is the little Barcelos. Right, it's time for a second breakfast at the historical cafe. Let's get in there. So this seems to be quite an old albergue, which is perfect really, because I'm really about supporting the albergues that have been here for a long time. And this is a responsible donative one, so you stay, but you donate how much you feel you want to donate to the albergue for the night. The rule of thumb is obviously, and I don't know if I've already said this, but the rule of thumb is €10 a night, nothing less than that. And if you want to give more, then you absolutely can. But yeah, it's the Alburgue Citadel de Barcelos. That's the name. Alburgue Citadel de Barcelos. So if you're wondering what's the story about the rooster and Barcelos, you'll see if you walk through Barcelos, the rooster statues are everywhere. Okay, so I'm back in my albergue. And before I go to bed, I actually went tonight, 7 o'clock, I heard about a pilgrim's blessing at one of the iglesias, one of the churches here in Barcelos. And so there was a couple of other pilgrims with me, and I just offered the other ladies, I said, hi, I'm gonna go and check out this pilgrim's blessing. If you want to accompany me, you can. And the three of them said sure, and so we walked about 7 minutes to this church. And I couldn't record it, unfortunately, because I was immersed, and also I didn't think it would be right to pull out my phone. Yeah, we were all English, and they asked us the language and where we were from, and so they brought us into the church and led us to the front, and we sat in some pews to the front left of the church, and then we sat in the mass for that evening. It was all in Portuguese, but I kind of got the gist of the process because I grew up going to a church every Sunday, Anglican church, every Sunday as a little girl. And so I recognized the process that they were going through, because it looked exactly the same as the Anglican church. So everything was in Portuguese, and they had communion, and they got to that just after communion. They asked us to the front of the church, where they spoke the Pilgrim's blessing over us. And I'll put the blessing, I took a picture of the blessing, so I'll put the blessing here so you can read it. And it was very lovely and very touching, and I'm so glad I went, and the other 3 ladies were also glad that they went. And you know, the lady that was there at the church was very sweet, and she also gave us each a little stone. Hold on, let me find the stone first. Okay, I'm back. So this is the little stone. She had a little box full of these little stones, as you can see. Let me get my face out the way, maybe then it'll be focused. No, nope, doesn't want to focus. Okay, anyway, a little stone, lots of different sizes. I took the smallest one because obviously I'm not trying to make my backpack any heavier. I didn't say that, just by the way. So I picked the smallest little stone, and it has Barcelos at the bottom there. But and she hand painted them, and you can see the sign of the way, the arrow of the way, and the nature was the flowers and Barcelos, and then there was the alphabet, which looks like the cross. And basically, there's a thing all along the pilgrimage. It's called, you can pick up any stone. It doesn't have to be a decorated stone. You just pick up any stone along the pilgrimage trail, and it's called leave and let go spots. So that there's these leave and let go spots all, I wouldn't say all along the trail, but there are these leave and let go spots that you will find. That's where people pick up a stone and they meditate and think about certain things they're dealing with in their life. They work through it, and they put it in the stone. It doesn't have to be the stone, any stone. They put it in the stone. And they just leave it and let it go. They leave the stone in there and they walk on. So hence the leave it and let go spot. So this is basically, she was saying that when we get to Santiago at the leave it and let go spot, we can leave it and let it go using the stone. But you don't have to use the stone, you can use any stone. So that's what this represents. And if you ever do a pilgrimage like this and you find those leave it and let go spots, you now know what they mean. They're not just a pile of stones and ribbons and all sorts of different objects of kinds that people have left and let go. But yeah, I think that was a wonderful end to tonight's evening. Sorry, that was a long spiel, but I didn't bring the camera in. I didn't record it, so I just have to verbally tell you and explain to you what happened tonight. And yeah, so that's it. I'm going to bed now, and that ends a lovely day. So I hope everyone sleeps peacefully tonight. Good night.